the finest view in England. Let's have a look. Today's been so hard and so bad for Otto. I'm not feeling so great. It's so wet now. Stunning. It's so beautiful. I can't even tell you how hard this day has been. And I just feel like crying because I don't know, it seems like I can do nothing. I think I seriously have to consider just stopping the hike because it's...
Hi, my name is Elli. I'm a long-distance hiker and backpacker. Enjoying a cup of coffee with a view is my absolute happy place. And this is Otto, an adopted stray dog, crisps lover, and the best hiking companion. Come join us as we explore the great outdoors, one trail at a time. In January of 2025, Otto and I embarked on our first Winter Thru-Hike, which chose the Cleveland Way, a 109-mile-long national trail in North Yorkshire that runs from Helmsley across the moors to the coast and ends in Filey. This is part 1, where we walked from Helmsley to Carlton Bank.
Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. Otto and I just set off on a proper winter thru-hike. We are in North Yorkshire right now and we just set off from Helmsley and we are attempting to walk the Cleveland Way, which is, if I remember it correctly, the second oldest national trail. It's 108 miles long and it runs from Helmsley, where we just started, to Filey, which is on the east coast. This is our plan for the next 7 to 8 days, depending on how fast we're walking, but the days are not very long at the moment, obviously, because it's still January. We have about 8.5 hours of daylight every day, so there's not that much hiking that we can probably do. And there are a couple of other challenges too, because most campsites are closed. I think there's quite a good infrastructure in spring, summer and autumn because, as I said, it's a national trail. But now in January everything seems closed. Not just campsites, but most cafes, pub might also be closed. This is why I'm carrying quite a massive pack, because I'm carrying food for 3 to 4 days until we get to the coast. And it's quite cold. It's only 2 degrees now and it's quite breezy. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm also really excited. I really loved the North York moors when we did the coast to coast a couple of months ago, and yeah, it feels really nice to be back to explore the area a bit more. And then obviously the second part of the hike will be along the coast, which I'm really excited about because I really love coast walking, coast path. Really excited for the next days, so let's go! Ooh, look at all this water. There was a lot of rain in the past couple of days. Everything is pretty wet. Our first 5 kilometers, I think, are done. And so far it's been pretty nice walking through some wooded areas. But I can already feel and see that it's very remote. There were only a couple of houses and I didn't see anyone else, no cars, nothing, which is great for hiking, but it really shows that now we're getting closer to the moors, that it's really remote and sparsely populated. Luckily, the weather has been holding out. When we started, it was pretty breezy and there was a bit of drizzle, but now there's even blue skies and a bit of sun, and yeah, so far it's been dry. Oh shit, I'm not wearing my waterproof socks. Oh, maybe over here. Oh, maybe I'm lucky. It's really, really, really wet. Really have to put on my waterproof socks as soon as possible. If you're wondering why I chose the Cleveland way for our Winter Thru-Hike winter trail, I actually wanted to do the Dales Highway, but the weather this past week has been pretty bad with the big storm passing through and a lot of rain, and for this week there's even more rain and even snow on higher elevations that's forecast. So I was a bit hesitant doing the Dales Highway because I thought we would have a bit of a horrible time, and the area is way too beautiful to just like suffer all the time. And obviously it's higher in elevation, it's more exposed, and yeah, it's basically a mountain area, so things can be really bad there if the weather is not great. And also the Dales Highway is a smaller trail, it's not a national trail, so it's probably less traveled, and I thought I would end up in a bog and just be miserable. So I'm leaving that for spring or summer, and instead I chose the Cleveland way because one, I really love the moors and also the coast, obviously when we did the coast to coast in August of last year. And also I thought the Cleveland way might be a bit easier in winter because it's a national trail, it's way marked, and oftentimes they're bigger paths like bridle ways, so it's probably not that boggy or not really that muddy because the paths are a bit better. And also, even though the moors are exposed obviously because they're hills as well, but it's not that high, and yeah, you can easily drop down a little bit. So I thought this might be a good option for us, even though, as I said, most campsites and also maybe cafes, pubs might be closed, but still I thought there would be a bit more infrastructure, especially once I'm at the coast. Apparently there are a lot of hunters in these woodlands. The only thing so far is, as you can see with the vehicles behind me, there are a lot of hunters in these woodlands, even though it's Monday, it's not even the weekend. I think they're probably grouse shooting because I saw a lot of them on the trail. And we've been hearing shooting noises all morning, which has been pretty hard for Otto obviously, and I had to carry him for a mile or so here and there. But I really hope that these are the last ones and only ones for today, and now that we're walking away from them, that it will get better. Whew, not the best start. This was very, very wet, and now I really have wet socks. Shit! Ah. Ooh, this is very, very cute. I found our spot for a lunch break. This will be really nice because in the village Otto can't hear any shooting noises. So this is the perfect spot. We're almost in Sutton Bank now, which is where the National Park Visitor Center is. They have a cafe as well, but from what I read it's closed. It's only open at the weekends in winter, so there probably isn't anything. I hope the toilets are open, but I don't know yet. As you can see, we're out of the woodlands now. It's quite exposed, and even though it's sunny, it's really chilly now. This stretch today so far has been mainly going over farmland, and as you can see it's really wet and muddy. But I really hope that the path will get better when we're up on the moors, because it's not low level and it's not really like farmland, it's more heather, and oftentimes it's more like rocky or sandy, but not that muddy. So yeah, really hope that it will get a bit drier up there. this is the spot where the Cleveland Way actually does a little detour. You can walk 1 mile to the White Horse, which is a like sculpture of a horse in the hills. And then it's 1 mile, a little bit over 1 mile back. But I've decided not to do the detour today because I've seen the sculpture, the White Horse of Kilburn, already a couple of years ago, and I want to make it a bit easier for Otto because we lost a bit of time this morning, and yeah, it was quite hard for him. And also the day is not really that long anymore, and I still want to make some progress to find a good spot to wild camp where it's not like on farmland and everything. So I think we'll head to Sutton Bank directly now to the visitor center, and I'm going to check if the toilets are open, and then we'll carry on heading north onto the moors. The light is on. This is the National Park Visitor Center, so maybe I can actually get a coffee. Ah, this would be so cool. This was a really nice spot because the visitor center is closed. It's only open at the weekends, but the cafe is open daily, and I got a coffee and we got to sit inside. It was dog friendly, it was really warm inside, it was perfect to warm up. Didn't expect that the cafe would be open, but even better, these things are just the best surprises on trail. And there even is an outside tap, so even if the cafe is closed, it's still possible to get water. And now we're on our way to rejoin the Cleveland Way, which, as I said, made a little detour to the White Horse of Kilburn. And then we'll have another 7 or 8 kilometers to a spot that I saw on the map that seems quite nice and sheltered for wild camping tonight. We have about 2 hours of daylight, so yeah, should be okay. I think it's going to be more or less level now. The finest view in England. Let's have a look. I don't know if it's the best view that I ever saw, but it still is very stunning. Look at that. Ooh, look at this view. This is really beautiful. Seeing the landscape from above. Wow. And the weather's just perfect. Oh, I'm so happy. As expected, the trail got a lot better ever since we left Sutton Bank, and now we're basically up on the moors. Basically this is like a big cliff and it's dropping down right here. So we're basically walking along the edge now. You can see that the valley down there, that it's much lower, and there's less farmland up here, more heather, and yeah, it's a lot drier because obviously the sun has been shining almost the entire day, so it's starting to dry up. And we also didn't hear any more shooting noises, which is really nice for Otto, because this morning, to be honest, was quite a tough start into a new trail, seeing Otto freaking out, freezing. Yeah, it was really hard for me too. The views, as you can see, are just stunning. It's so beautiful. Even up here would be okay, I think, to pitch the tent if you pitch late and leave early, because it's high up, it's remote, you can easily go off the trail a little bit. So yeah, I think it shouldn't be too hard to find something. I just hope that I find an area that's a bit dry, so that I don't have to set up in a big puddle, hopefully. They're so cute! And they have the same shape as Otto. Oh, cute! I've made it to High Paradise Farm, and this would be the ideal end for stage 1 of the Cleveland Way. They have rooms, a little cafe, and you can also camp in the garden, but they are closed for winter now and are only open from March. So we'll walk on for another mile or so. This would be a really nice campsite in summer. Look at that. Wow. I mean, there's quite a bit of storm damage. I don't know if that's from the storm this week or another one, but that's such a shame that we can't camp here. But from what I saw on the map, there's a wooded area, like a plantation forest, just under 1 mile from here. And I think I'm going to try and find a spot there. And I hope it will be a bit wind sheltered and not too muddy. We'll see. I have about 30 minutes until sunset, so I want to at least find a spot before it gets dark. If I then have to set up the tent while it's already getting dark, that's not a problem, but I want to make sure that I'm not setting up in a bog or in a puddle. So that's the goal, to find a place before it gets dark, and yeah, then call it a day and make a coffee. Ooh, look at that. We're up on the moors now. Wow, this looks so cool. Let's see if this here might be something. I think I might try and set up the tent right here. It's on a little bit of a slope, but it's not too wet because the ground is more like mossy. So yeah, and there are no really big trees, no dead wood. So yeah, I think I might try and set up here. Ooh, this is not a great pitch, as you can see. It's very loose. It's a bit on a slope, so it's hard to get the angles right. It's not perfect, and I don't know if it will actually hold up tonight, but we kind of made it work. So I'm now going to clip in the inner, because the tent parts were still separate from my last trip when I was cleaning the tent. Ooh, okay, I'm all set up. Otto already had his treat, and I changed into my insulation pants, and now I'm going to make a coffee. Perfect. It's 7:30 now, and I'm just starting to cook my dinner. I'm having one of my self-made backpacking meals, which is instant pasta, dehydrated tomato sauce, and jackfruit chunks, dehydrated jackfruit chunks for protein, and a couple of dehydrated veggies. I'm going to have that. So far, this has been a really nice sight. I can hear the wind in the trees, but it's really sheltered. It's been a nice, relaxing evening so far. We didn't hear any more shooting noises. I did a little bit of editing. So if you're seeing that, and if you're enjoying the videos, and if you want to support the channel, it would mean a lot if you would consider subscribing. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm going to have my dinner now and then share a little packet of crisps with Otto. It's 8:30 now, and I think we'll go to bed very soon, and yeah, just get a really good night's sleep, a really good rest. This was the first day on the Cleveland Way. It was a bit of a rough start with the shooting noises and yeah, the trail being really muddy in the first part, but it definitely got better in the second part. It was really nice to slowly walk up to the moors. The views have been really stunning. I really enjoyed especially the second part of today, and I'm really excited to see more of the moors tomorrow. So see you then. Good night. This was our spot last night, and as you can see, everything is pretty wet. It rained quite a bit last night, so I have to pack up a wet tent now, and I probably don't have the chance to try it out today because it's supposed to stay foggy, drizzly all day. The joy of backpacking. Just kidding. But we had a really good night, really quiet, comfy night. So let's get packed up and start day 2 on the Cleveland Way. As always, leaving no trace whatsoever. And let's go! It's really misty today, which is a bit of a shame because there probably aren't a lot of views. But I'm kind of happy because I hope and think that this means that there probably won't be any shootings going on today, because I don't think you're allowed to go pheasant or grouse shooting if it's like this misty and foggy and you can't really see much. The wind has dropped, so it doesn't feel cold at all. I think it's 3 to 4 degrees, so yeah, not too bad without the wind. And yeah, really excited for today. I have about 10 kilometers, something like that, 6 to 7 miles to go to Helmsley, which is a bit of a bigger village. It's a bit wetter than expected. There's a bit of like steady drizzle. Luckily it's really not that cold today. This is the highest point for this morning, and now it's all downhill towards Helmsley. Look at that, a bit of views. Finally. Oh, this is so cool. Finally, we can see the landscape a little bit. It's still drizzly, but we're almost in Helmsley now, and I think the village shop might be open, so I think I'm going to get something to drink there and maybe a snack. And if the pub is open today, then I think I'm going to go in and warm up a bit, try off my jacket and get a tea or a coffee, hopefully. Look at that. This is so cute. Cute. Oh, the coffee shop is closed, and the pub as well. And the other pub is closed as well. Oh, that's a shame. But there is one down there. Let's check that out. This is really, really cute. Look at that. Oh. And this over there is the village store. I think I might pop in to refill my water and yeah, maybe get a little snack. This was a really nice stop for a little break. I had a lemonade and a tea, and we warmed up a little bit, and I tried my clothes a little bit. This is a really cute village. There's not much going on today because it's Tuesday and it's winter, but I can really see that in summer this would be a really cute place with a coffee shop and a couple of pubs. We have covered 10 kilometers today so far, and we have another 12, but we have over 4 hours of daylight, so this should work out perfectly. We're actually going to join the coast to coast walk, or basically walk a section that's the same for the coast to coast and the Cleveland Way. So for the rest of today we'll be walking a stretch that we've previously walked on the coast to coast. Really excited to see it again. I hope it gets a bit drier this afternoon. Oh, this is really muddy now. I think it's going to get better once we're up on the moor again. But this right here is really slippery and so wet. Ooh, we're on our climb up to Beacon Hill, but unfortunately no views whatsoever. Oh, that's such a shame. Even though it's really misty, we heard some noises. I don't know if that's from a farm down there towards Ingleby, or if there's actually people pheasant shooting in the woodlands down there. But yeah, we heard a couple of noises. I really don't know. This is not great. And yeah, I checked the hunting season dates yesterday in the evening, and apparently you can go pheasant hunting or grouse hunting until the end of January. That's apparently, from what I read, typically the season, which is in a couple of days. So maybe, I don't know, everyone is still out doing that before the season is over. I don't know, but this is really bad. No views at all. Oh, I'm not feeling too great. It's so wet now, even though it's not much more than drizzle. But with the wind up here on the moor, and over time it really starts to soak through. The weather wasn't supposed to be this bad. And thinking about that I'll have to pitch a wet tent in the rain with everything being wet and damp. This is horrible. Not a great thing to look forward to later. This is a bit hard. We keep hearing shooting noises. Not the best day. That's such a shame. It's really not easy seeing Otto like that. Basically negotiating every mile with him. It's really hard to see that this walk today, or the past 2 hours, like, he didn't enjoy them at all, and he just keeps going because of me. And yeah, this is so hard. I wish I could just tell him that he's not going to get shot, and I don't know where the noises come from. It almost sounds like an explosion, like a louder shooting noise. I don't know, there are a couple of farms down there. Maybe, I don't know, it's some machinery, or I don't know, but yeah, he doesn't know that. So yeah, it's really hard. It's not fun today for the both of us. And yeah, on top of everything, there are no views, it's raining, and yeah, I don't know. We're on our, I think, last climb for today, up to the moors again. Ooh. This is really hard. The explosion noises or shooting noise just don't stop, and as you can see, we're up on the moors in the middle of nowhere, and I just feel like crying because I don't know, it seems like I can do nothing, and Otto is suffering, and I'm wet, my kid is wet. Oh, shit. I don't know if you can see that, but he's just shaking and don't want to continue. We made it to Lord Stone's. I think the cafe is still open, so I might fill up my water there. Unfortunately, they don't allow dogs inside. I know that from when we did the coast to coast last summer. This is a bit of a shame. This would have been great, just sitting inside for half an hour, warming up. But yeah, it is what it is. Maybe I can refill my water and then I'm going to walk on for another, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes to a spot that I found when we were doing the coast to coast. So yeah, we're basically done for today, which feels amazing. I can't even tell you how hard this day has been. Whew. Good thing that I filled up my water because it's closed, even though it's not 4 p.m. yet. I don't know if you can see that, but I think I found our spot for tonight. It's a bit off the trail. The only thing is that there's still some shootings going on and not very far from here. We're on top of some sort of plateau or ridge, just basically down there, which is like maybe 200 meters as the crow flies. So yeah, I don't know. This is not great, but yeah, I don't know. I just hope that they will stop sometime soon, and yeah, what can you do? I just set up the tent. It's quite a cute spot in the woodlands, not too far from Lordstones. There's shooting noises, they're so close, and I don't know. I'm sure they're not in these wooded areas because I can't hear anyone like talking or anything, and I didn't see anyone. But obviously I'm now wondering whether they will be there tomorrow as well, probably, because tomorrow is supposed to be a pretty nice day. And yeah, I don't know. I think the first thing I'm going to do is to see if I can walk to a village down somewhere and take a bus tomorrow if worst comes to worst, because I don't know, today's been so hard and so bad for Otto. I really hope that the shootings will stop now that it's getting dark. But yeah, I think the chances are pretty high that they will be back first thing tomorrow morning, and yeah, I really don't know what to do. And yeah, if we hear them tomorrow morning, I think we'll have to skip the next section or even quit the hike, because look at that. Otto is just frozen. He don't even want to have his treat, and yeah, he's just not doing great. This could have been a nice evening now, just relaxing, resting, but yeah. Oh shit. I think I seriously have to consider yeah, just stopping the hike, because it's just doesn't work for Otto right now. The shooting noises have stopped after it got dark, so yeah, he's a bit more at ease now, and yeah, he can calm down now, and he already slept a little bit. Yeah, so I think we're all good for the night, but yeah, tomorrow it will probably start pretty early again, and yeah, I don't know, we'll see.